Hey, my name is Wouter, I'm the founder and CEO of DecisionVault. In this video, I'll show 3 different ways to do a summary of a client's plan or design for their plan after you've done a design meeting with them. The first way, sort of the oldest way that we had initially in DecisionVault, is by using the Roles and Plan Summary tab. So on the Roles tab, you can assign the different people on the questionnaire that have been gathered on the questionnaire into these numbered roles. Who's going to be the trustee, who's going to be the successor trustee, etc. If you need to change these roles, you can do so under customization, where you can change the label of the role, whether the role even exists. You can add extra roles if you need an executor, for instance, and you can mark whether a role splits. So a long-term guardian will be one list of long-term guardians. The financial power of attorney here shows John Smith and Mary Smith, so that one splits. So you can make those changes under the customization of the questionnaire. I can assign these roles, and in the Plan Summary tab, I can record some specific gifts, and then in here, let's start from empty. I have my description of the residual beneficiaries, so how the residual estate will be distributed, as well as the remote or contingent and remote contingent. And I can add these different templates. Again, under customization, pick a questionnaire and find the summary tab all the way on the right hand side. You can set up a number of these. And the idea is that you can add these in a repeatable way and then change what language is in here, and that way quickly build up a summary of how this client's plan is supposed to work. So I'm saving those, and then I can export the client decision summary. So that looks like this. So here we have, it folds in the name of the client, their information, the name of their children information, the different people in the different roles, and also these extra descriptions. So you can edit those under the customization of the questionnaire. And if I scroll down, it has folded in the specific gifts part, the residual beneficiaries part, and the remote contingent, but I didn't put anything there. And then there's a contact table at the end. So this you could give to a client, they could review for accuracy. Maybe when they look through the roles, they've thought of somebody else. So that's one way to do the summary. The second way that I've seen some users do recently is we now have this design sheet. Now the design sheet and this Plan Summary and Roles tab, they're kind of connected, but not quite. That may be something that we need to work on in the future. But what I've seen people do is they have out this built out design sheet for how they run their meetings. They use that either like this in digital format. If I'm on a Zoom call with a client, I can run through this and fill this in to make the choices for how we're going to design this person's plan. If you want to learn more about the design sheet, there's other videos for that. And this one also has a way of exporting. So I've seen some of our users, after they filled that in, take the filled version and kind of edit this down to a summary. Add some extra language to this. Maybe they've added some of descriptions in between the different questions on their design sheet. And then when you export that, now you can like edit this, because it's a Word document, to be the design sheet, and it lists the different choices of what the client wants for their plan. There's a balance there probably with how much sort of legal shorthand you might want to put in there. But this is one way, another way to do a summary. And then the third way that I recently got, well, one of our subscribers suggested this to us, and then I kind of went experimenting, is to do to use the new diagram merge functionality to make a graphical design summary, basically. So I'll show what I have in mind. So this works off of a PowerPoint template that I put together. I'll show that in a second. And then there's several questions on this design sheet that have the name of the trust, the signing date, the successor trustee. So these are all things you normally might have on a design sheet. And then we can do something with radio buttons, for instance, where obviously this makes no sense at all. But what I'm trying to show is you can write some descriptions in radio buttons and those can get merged into a PowerPoint file. So let's do RZ here as a choice. And if I go to my diagram merge integration, then I have the graphical summary deck. I'll just quickly map these. All right, I needed to fix something there for a moment because one of the two fields were not showing up. So here you see now how all these words are just being passed through into this particular field. I'll show in a moment what that does. Name of the clients, the name of the successor trustees, trust date, and trust name. And when I process this template, it will now, DecisionVault will generate this PowerPoint here. So now I have my estate plan summary for John Doe and Jane Doe. Table of contents, it's empty. This is a fake document. Here I may have, okay, a little bit of overlapping. I need to move it around a little bit, but the name of the trust is folded in, the date of the trust is folded in, my grantor's trustees, John Doe and Jane Doe, are folded in, the two successor trustee names are folded in, and here I have an example of this explainer language. So it's not just that I can fold in a word or a couple of words, somebody's name or a date. I can actually write some explanations and kind of pick what those might be or how we're going to do certain things for this particular matter with this particular client, and then fold that in. So that's an example of doing a graphical summary document. And there we have an example. If you look for a diagram merge in our support knowledge base, you'll find the article, and there we have a PowerPoint file you can download. But I'll just, as an example, to get started on diagram merge, I'll just show what this looks like. So here, client 1, client 2 fields are here. You define them, and then afterwards you map them in DecisionVault. Similar thing here, trust name, trust date. I should move these down a little bit because it was getting in each other's way. Client 1, client 2, successor trustee 1 and 2. And then here the field that we're using to show a long explainer. So with this, you could probably build a graphical summary. So those are the three ways to do a summary in DecisionVault. First, the sort of oldest way of using the roles and summary tabs in the tool on the matter. Second way of using the design sheet and actually maybe adding some language to that so that when you export the Word document, you can edit it down and that becomes the summary. Or third option, a graphical summary using DecisionVault diagram merge. All right, thank you very much.